The movie opens with Ido, a cybernetic surgeon, who stumbles upon a damaged cyborg in a junkyard in Iron City. Remarkably, the cyborg's brain is still functional. Ido takes the cyborg home and repairs it. Upon awakening, the cyborg, fascinated by her new form, wobbles to a mirror to examine herself. Later, she cautiously descends the stairs to meet her saviors. Ido checks her for any malfunctions, but she only mentions that she's feeling hungry. As Ido assists her with an orange, the cyborg realizes that she has no memory of her past, leading to a moment of tearful frustration. He then introduces her to the outside world, including the awe-inspiring city of Zalem, suspended in the air. Naming her Alita, Ido shows her around Iron City, explaining the influx of people after the fall, a catastrophic event 3 centuries prior, and the impossibility of going to Zalem. Meanwhile, Alita's intrigued by a Motorball sports show on TV, but Ido dismisses it as unimportant. Left alone briefly, Alita shares her food with a stray dog. She notices a wanted poster for a serial killer and encounters a police robot, a Centurion. Instead of moving aside, she instinctively poses for battle. Hugo, a local boy, intervenes and guides her to safety. However, when the dog is endangered, Alita rushes to its defense. Impressed by her skills, Hugo recognizes her as a cyborg. Ido returns and explains that Alita is new in town. That night, a woman is attacked, and the next morning, Alita notices Ido coming home with blood on his arm. Intrigued by Ido's work, she observes him and learns about cyborg body part thieves and the serial killer from a patient. Outside, she meets Chiron, who observes her with curiosity. Chiron later confronts Ido about Alita, noting she's using the body of their deceased daughter. Chiron suggests they team up to create Motorball champions to earn enough money to return to Zalem, but Ido refuses, believing there's no way back. Meanwhile, Alita joins Hugo and his friends in a game of Motorball. She struggles initially, but ultimately scores a point. Hugo offers her a ride home, and they bond over their shared fascination with Zalem, a hunter warrior, and his sword. The next day, Hugo takes Alita to a secret spot with a view of Zalem. He shares his dream of living there and suggests that Alita, having been found in the scrapyard, must have come from Zalem. That same night, Alita follows Ido and intervenes when she mistakes his actions as an attack on a woman. However, they're ambushed by Gruishka and Romo. Ido tries to protect Alita, but is outnumbered. Alita leaps into action, demonstrating remarkable combat skills. She defeats Romo and the other enemies. During the fight, Alita experiences flashbacks of a past battle where she was known as 99. Her skills overpowered Gruishka, who flees with a broken arm. Following the intense confrontation, Dr. Ido claims the bounty on one of the enemy crew members. He uses the bounty money to fund free repairs at his clinic. When Alita questions him about her past, Ido admits that her body and name were originally his daughter's, who was killed by one of his patients. This tragic event led to the separation of Ido and Chiron, his former partner. Driven by grief, Ido became a hunter warrior after failing to find peace despite avenging his daughter's death. Ido reveals that Alita's heart contains an antimatter microreactor, a rare piece of technology not produced since the fall, suggesting that Alita is over 300 years old. Meanwhile, at Vector's place, Chiron is pressured to create Motorball champions for him. When the injured Gruishka arrives, begging for repairs, Chiron initially refuses, but reconsiders upon learning Alita caused his injuries. The next day, Chiron discovers that Gruishka has been modified with new enhancements. Vector shows little interest in assisting until Gruishka, now speaking with the voice of Nova, a prominent scientist in Zalem, demands attention. Nova deduces Alita's knowledge of the Panzerkunst fighting style and orders Chiron to rebuild Gruishka, tasking him to bring Alita to Nova, dead. In return, Nova, using Vector's body, promises Chiron a return to Zalem if she succeeds. Ido and Alita find out that Grewishka has been removed from the bounty list, suggesting that someone powerful is protecting him. Alita, eager to regain her memories, decides to become a hunter-warrior, despite Ido's objections. She joins Hugo in a Motorball match, where Hugo reveals that the final champion of Motorball is granted access to Zalem. During the game, Chiron's attention is drawn to a player named Kanuba and his weapon, the grind cutters. Later, Hugo and his masked friends ambush Kanuba, revealing themselves as part of a crew that harvests cyborg parts. Vector commends their work and instructs them to deliver the parts to Chiron, then finishes off Kanuba himself. The following day, Hugo and his friends take Alita to a war-torn area outside Iron City, remnants of a war against the United Republic of Mars, URM. They show her a submerged URM warship, hoping it might trigger her memories. Alita recognizes the ship and explores it, finding an advanced, unused cyborg body. She asks Ido to transfer her to this body, but he refuses, revealing that she's a URM berserker, a highly advanced cyborg weapon. Undeterred, Alita registers as a hunter-warrior and later visits a bar frequented by other bounty hunters. There, she encounters Zapin, who warns her about competing for bounties. Alita rejects his offer to train her and instead challenges the hunters in the bar, declaring that they must assist her in her mission if she can defeat them. This results in a brawl, showcasing Alita's combat prowess and determination to face her past and embrace her true identity as a warrior. In the midst of the chaos at the bar, Hugo intervenes to save Alita from a potentially lethal blow. Ido arrives shortly after, threatening to end his free repairs if the fighting doesn't stop, effectively defusing the situation. However, the respite is short-lived, as Grewishka, now enhanced with grind cutters, makes a dramatic entrance. The hunter-warriors refuse to engage him, as he doesn't carry a bounty. The tension escalates when Grewishka kills the stray dog that Alita had befriended, enraging her. McTeague, a hunter-warrior with a soft spot for dogs, is visibly upset, but remains unwilling to fight Grewishka. Alita, driven by a mix of anger and grief, uses the dog's blood to mark her face and confronts Grewishka in battle. Grewishka lures Alita into an underground area, his former dwelling, where he plans to kill her. Despite his enhanced strength and weaponry, Alita skillfully evades his attacks. However, Grewishka eventually manages to overpower Alita, severely injuring her and cutting her body into pieces. In this desperate moment, Alita recalls a memory of her martial instructor, Gelda, identifying Nova as their enemy. Using her remaining arm, Alita mounts a counterattack, managing to pierce Grewishka's eye. Ido and Hugo arrive just in time, and McTeague's cyborg dogs attack Grewishka, forcing him to retreat. Ido then carries away Alita's damaged body. Chiron mocks Ido's attempts to replace their daughter with Alita, but Ido has no choice but to attach Alita to the URM berserker body. The new body adapts to Alita's subconscious image of herself. Upon awaking, Alita is grateful and explores the capabilities of her new body. Later, Alita and Hugo spend time together, with Alita showcasing the sensitivity of her new body. Hugo, who's moved by her transformation, shares a kiss with her. Meanwhile, Nova, using Vector's body, orders Grewishka to destroy Alita, revealing her importance as the last of the URM Technarchy's weapons and his desire for her heart. Frustrated by Nova's control, Vector plots his own course of action. He lures Hugo with the promise of reaching Zalem, but his real interest lies in discussing Alita. The next day, Hugo confesses to Alita his conflicted feelings about leaving for Zalem. Alita, determined to support Hugo's dream, offers her valuable URM heart for sale. Hugo, unwilling to let Alita sacrifice herself, suggests she join Motorball to earn the money. Alita prepares for the Motorball game, with Ido fitting her with safety gear, unaware that Vector has enlisted hunter-warriors to assassinate her during the match. Simultaneously, Hugo faces his own turmoil. After a confrontation with Tanji, Hugo decides to abandon their criminal activities. However, Zalem arrives and frames Hugo for murder, placing a bounty on his head. In a desperate move, Hugo attacks Zalem with fiery ammunition and flees. As Alita enters the Motorball arena, Ido warns her that her competitors are actually hunter warriors aiming to kill her. Undeterred, Alita engages in the game, skillfully maneuvering against her attackers and using the Motorball itself as a weapon to take them down, much to the crowd's excitement. The Motorball game rapidly transforms into a fierce battle, where Alita's agility and combat skills shine. She outmaneuvers her larger opponents with grace, demonstrating her fighting prowess. Amidst the chaos, Hugo contacts Alita for urgent help against Zalem, prompting her to leave the game to his aid. The hunter warriors give chase, but Alita skillfully outmaneuvers them, using her quick thinking and combat abilities to turn their attacks against each other. Zalem eventually catches up to Hugo, but Alita intervenes, kicking Zalem away. However, she's stunned to see Hugo's face on a bounty sign, indicating that he's wanted for murder. Hugo admits to his involvement in Cyborg part theft, but denies any killings. Alita, still loyal to Hugo, confronts Zalem, eventually taking responsibility for the kill herself. As Zalem wounds Hugo, Alita flees with his gravely injured body, desperate to save him. Hugo confesses his crime and love for Alita, while Chiron, upon discovering them, misleads Vector about their whereabouts. Outside, Alita presents Hugo's severed head, which she has kept alive by attaching it to her own body. Zalem attempts to seize Hugo, but the Centurions intervene, mistaking his actions as theft. This distraction allows Alita to take Zalem's sword and disfigure him. The following day, Hugo's head is attached to a cyborg body, thanks to Chiron's expertise. Ido reveals the truth about accessing Zalem, debunking Vector's promises to Hugo. Ido shares his own backstory, including his Zalem origins and his family's exile due to their daughter's illness. Meanwhile, Vector confronts Chiron for letting Alita escape. Chiron, asserting her values as a doctor and mother, ends her partnership with Vector. However, she soon faces a threatening obstruction upon leaving. Alita confronts Vector, easily dispatching the Centurions with Zalem's blade. In Vector's office, she demands answers about his deceitful promise to Hugo. Vector reveals the grim reality, showing Chiron's disassembled body being sent to Nova as the only means to reach Zalem. During a subsequent attack by Grishka, Alita experiences flashback of her past battles against Zalem, including a pivotal moment with Gelda. After regenerating from Grishka's assault, Alita swiftly defeats him. She then confronts Nova, speaking through Vector, about her autonomy and defiance. Nova cryptically warns of potential consequences and his enjoyment of immortality by witnessing others' deaths. Frustrated, Alita kills Vector's body. Ido informs Alita that Hugo, now a fugitive, is climbing the tubes to Zalem. She finds him, attempting to dissuade him from his dangerous journey. Despite her pleas, Nova activates a barrier, resulting in Hugo's tragic death, leaving Alita screaming in despair. Months later, Alita emerged as a top contender in the Motorball Champions League. Despite her opportunity to reach Zalem, she's still haunted by Hugo's loss. As she enters the arena, she draws the attention of the crowd and Nova, signaling her continuing defiance and determination. The movie concludes on this note, showcasing Alita's resilience and unwavering spirit in the face of adversity. So, what did you think about this movie? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see more movie recaps, then make sure to click the video that's on screen now. And hey, we're always working on more interesting movie recaps, so make sure you subscribe to our channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next movie recap.